probability model, what is the probability that an individual selected would have a probability of, or would have a wage of $1 an hour? And 3 of 16 out of us actually would be in the $1 category. So real quick, we're going to fill out this model here. I think I had my pen somewhere. Someone steal it.
This?
Okay. Well, you had it. You had it. I think it's not here. Coach Jay, where are you tripping? Did someone steal my pen? Oh, it's right here. My fault. All right.
Tell me that.
All right, here we go. Let's go. 3 of 16. 4 of 16. You put yours here, whatever yours is. 3 of 16. 4 of 16. 0 of 16 and 2 of 16. Okay? So this is the probability of randomly selecting this individual. Okay? All right, so we're going to interpret the expected value, right? So as we interpret this, first off, how would I write this, or the work for this? The expected value or the mean of this, kind of from the other lesson. 1 times what? The probability, 3 over 16. Someone real quick, just kind of add these up when multiplied. 3 times 4 over 16. Cool? 3 over 16. 10 times 4 over 16. 15 times 0 over 16. And plus 25 times 2 over 16. Cool? Someone put that down. What would we get? And once we do that, I'm going to put a little interpretation here while we're doing that. Someone on that? No? Is no one? No. 8.37. Catherine, because you were the only one that did their 6 tickets. Nicely done. That's right. What was this again? 8.37?
Yeah, 8.375.
8.3. We'll do 8. Cool. So this would be 8.38 or $8.38. Okay. So here's what we would say if we interpreted this, because that's the big thing with interpretation. Context is king. Okay. So if we draw many wages, we would expect this mean to approach what? To approach. Right there, 838. Cool. Very good. Okay. Now the next part we're going to go into is the part that we're going to fill in together. Okay. So I need calculators all over the place because right now I've got 4 minutes, which is very little time to kind of go where I would need to go. But my goal is to complete this chart before we head out. Cool? All right, so backtrack real quick. You remember when we did standard deviation? Standard deviation is what, Chloe? Good, nicely done. Boom. So when we look at this, it is that same idea, but just a little different. You will not ever have to do the chart, but I want you to go through the process one time so that you've seen it. How is it solved? And that way, it will hopefully help you when you actually solve it and interpret it, okay? All right, here we go. The mean was 8.38. Let's do 8.4 just for the heck of it here. 8.4. The distance from the mean from a $1 value would be what? Negative 7.4, okay? So fill this in. What about 5? Good. 7? Good. 10? Is it 1.6? Yeah, 1.6. 15? 6.6 and 25. 16.6. All right, Gucci. Nicely done. Okay. All right, distance from the mean. What would we do with this to go to here? We're going to square this bad boy. Preferred. So once we do this, negative 7.4 squared, all of them will be positive. What'd you get from there? 54.76. What would be 3.4 squared? Great. 1.4? Nicely done, Catherine. 1.6? Nicely done. 6.6? Nice. And our last one would be? Nicely done. Okay, good. So all of those are the values when we square it. We've done this before. Now here's the question. There's an issue, right? not all of them have the same weight. So like we did with the expected value, once I've squared this, I have to multiply each of these by the weight that they have, right? So what would be the weight of 1? 3 over what? 3/16. Good, Alex. So we're going to multiply, someone real quick, 3 over 16 times whatever 54.76 is. All right, so get that down. And someone just throw this down. If we could, someone take this one. Do this. Y'all got me?
I don't understand that.
Got my back?
Always.
Feel it. So the weight times 54.76. Someone take the bottom ones too. Cool, if you've got a calculator, go ahead. Chris, you want to do this bottom one? Just do this times
The bottom one is 34.445.
34. Is
The second one,
that right?
the second one is 2.89.
Yes, times 2.
10.27. I think this one's zero, because it's nothing, right? Got the floor.
What?
I'm not sure. 1.96, what would that one be?
The 10 one is 10.24.
10.24, nice, and 7. 1.96. And then someone's going to add these up, okay? What would this one be?
This one is 0.3675.
0.367. So someone add them up. Let's total it. That's going to be here. Cool. We'll do this real quick. Stay just for a second so we fill it out.
It's 58.27.
Do you want that?
58.217. All right, real quick. Real quick. What would we do with this to go to standard deviation? Square root. Nicely done, John Michael. Square root that. And we get 7.63. 7.63 as my standard deviation. Cool? All right, hold on to that. We'll talk about this more tomorrow. Have a phenomenal day.
You too.
Be blessed. Say again, Shane. Gotcha. Hey, make sure you leave your wages over here, okay? Your wages. Do it at $1 an hour. Chris, this is stand. $1 an hour. Michael, pro ref, $1 an hour. It's really, I wish you would have gotten 25 because that's probably what you make, don't you? No?
It's getting like 60 a game.
So you do 2 games a weekend or 3 games a weekend? Really? You're gonna do
What? You paid 60 a game? Where is this? What? Where is this? What age?
What was this again? Oh, the other one? Like 16 FRQs? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I say go. I say do that. So correct the first test, the multiple choice, and then I'll give back credit like I would, like I did on the other ones.
Okay. Can I send you a picture? I totally forgot to turn in because you told me that I needed more work on one of my FRQs. Can I send you a picture tonight? Because I don't have it with me. Like I have it at home.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I just forgot to do it the day of the test.
Yeah, and that was
That was 5.3.
it was the correct. You're correcting those,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Perfect.
It's
Yes.
I turned it in on time. I just didn't have enough, I guess, written out for it.
Yeah, just give that to me and I'll update that so
Okay.
you can get that. Well, great.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Steven.
What's up?
I got
Yes, I think it's on the right side of third period, but I thought I saw yours earlier, so I think it's back there. Go right ahead. What's up, Sydney?
Okay. Oh,
You rock, by the way. Thanks for sharing.
thanks. Yeah.
Thanks for honesty.
So you asked me to do one more FRQ on here, but I did this one. Unless you just wanted me to show more work on it, which I can do.
I think
Yeah.
that was it.
Okay.
So if you just, I see down here.
Yeah.
Yes, for
'Cause I
both
thought-
of these, if you could just show me like either the formula or just a written response, then I'll be able to give that.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
full
also,
credit.
sorry. You're good. So I know my mom emailed you And
Good, yeah.
so I was talking with Miss Waits. We've been talking to her about modifying my rehearsal schedule, so I'll be able to come in for more help sessions. Next year.
Perfect. Is that in the morning?
Well, yeah, because I know you have stuff in the afternoon, so.
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the afternoons. Now, sometimes if I've got a game at night,
Mhm.
and you're like, Coach, and that's why I just, as long as we talk, we're good.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Coach, what do you have this week that's game one? And I'd be able to say, well, I've got late practice this time, so we can do it, or I've got a game, and then I'm willing to do it after school. It just varies.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's the plan.
rocking. How'd you feel in this last test?
Better, but not like.
What I saw, did you get your test back?
Yeah.
By the way? Okay, yeah. From what I saw, I think it was just showing work on the FRQ side of things. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. But what I remembered that, so we can talk over that as well as
Yeah.
we approach corrections or whatever.
Yeah, that.
Cool. Cool. Thanks, Sydney. Appreciate y'all.
My test is not in the right size.
Oh,
Oh, you're good.
sorry.
Where did you put these?
Give them to him.
Please, I'll sleep.
Why is this
Have a
thing not
good
working?
night.
I don't know. How do you do it?
Okay, that's not it.
Look, I'm coaching.
Why don't we just go on the right side?
Stop.
I'm an adult. I'm literally almost legally an adult. I am an adult. I need to.
Oh, it's good to get out.
I don't know,
Hey, Sydney,
but I still look like I'm not.
updated your homeworks because I think you put it in the wrong bin.
Ooh, I'm
Right
not
on the
even
bottom
touching
left.
it.
I just saw them down here.
Gotcha.
I just
Okay,
wanted you to know.
You saw
I'll
me
update
at-
those, Lord willing, tonight.
You saw me. You didn't know me at all. I was a junior. Senior or junior? No, you're okay. I'm serious. You're literally.
It's in cursive.
What is that?
Smiley face. This is Coach Jay.
Wait, I'll draw how much.
Always
Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'll come back up to speed. Oh, you still need the top.
Yeah. I mean, do you have anything to do?
I would usually say.
Yeah, I was gonna go in.
I'm a pro. How do you?
Un paquete.
This is
Boo.
But is it cool? I'm gonna double check here. If I find it,
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
Wait, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. Oh no, it was a joke. If you still podcasting, it's a joke. If you can hear me.
Let me see.
Wait, I need to write it's a joke.
He is still podcast.
I need to write it's yeah. I need to write it's a joke.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm just
How do I? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's literally not working.
Coach Jay is a goat. Thank you.
It's not
Is a goat.
First off, she wrote it and it's the goat.
Is
The
a goat.
greatest of all
Is goat.
time.
Is goat.
Okay,
Alright, what's kicking?
I want to talk to you because I don't know if I'm gonna like. Is there a way for me to read
Don't-
the system?
Oh yes. I thought you were gonna talk. I don't know why. I thought you were like, I'm gonna drop this. I will be upset if you drop this this semester.
Miss Davis already said I can't.
Good.
So.
Good. You know why she said that? Because I told her you're not going to.
Good work.
I was talking to specifically you today when I said that at the beginning of class.
Really?
Yes. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't. Here's the deal. You're not the only one. Number one. Okay. You're not the only one. And I believe in you. The question is, does Jada believe in herself? That's the question. That's the question.
Yes, when I'm doing fine, but when I'm not, it's very.
When have you not done fine? This test?
Yeah, this test, and then the last test I did okay on, but like most of the tests I'm like getting like 70s, and like I'm just getting up to like a B or like a C with corrections.
Here's the deal. What a C is an average, isn't it?
Yes.
Here's the deal. Like all the other